This is Kaplan's book, pages 139 to 143. Here it is. Summary, approximately 1/6 length. Chapter 3 shifts from introducing the Hebrew letters as meditation tools to examining the three mothers Aleph, Mem, and Shin, Amsh, as the fundamental pattern underlying creation, consciousness, and mystical experience. The author argues that these letters express the universal process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, with Aleph functioning as the reconciling principle between the opposing forces symbolized by Mem and Shin. This pattern is reflected in the structure of the Sephirot, either as the three vertical columns headed by Chokmah, Binah, and Keter, or, according to the Ari, as the three horizontal connections joining opposing Sephirot. In either interpretation, the essence of the mothers is reconciliation and balance. The text presents Amsh as one of the deepest mysteries in Kabbalah, preceding even the Tetragrammaton, YHVH. While YHVH governs the ordered world of Tikkun, Amsh belongs to the earlier state of Tohu, before the Sephirot interacted with one another. In Tohu, the Proto-Sephirot existed as isolated vessels that shattered because they could neither receive nor give the divine light properly. Their fragments became the root of evil. Through Tikkun, these vessels were rebuilt into Partsufim, allowing harmonious interaction with one another and with humanity through the Torah. The author claims that the transition from Tohu to Tikkun mirrors the inner path of mystical attainment. In meditation, the student first enters the consciousness of Tohu through the mothers. This stage is characterized by fragmented perceptions, fleeting visions, and disconnected flashes of the Sephirot. By progressing to the divine name YHVH, the initiate perceives the Sephirot as an integrated system of Partsufim, connected by the 32 paths of wisdom. The practitioner mentally unites the Sephirot into one body, thereby advancing from chaotic perception to ordered spiritual vision. The author presents this sequence as a practical meditative process that reproduces the stages of creation within the mind. The letters Amsh also carry symbolic meanings beyond cosmology. They spell Imesh, yesternight, representing the primordial darkness before creation and serving, according to some traditions, as a hidden divine name. Other commentators associate the letters with concealed mysteries, including deeper letter combinations and the reconciliation of logical opposites. Because Amsh transcends ordinary reasoning, it is linked to extraordinary spiritual abilities, including traditions that claim mastery over fire through this mystery. The phrase sealed with 6 rings is interpreted as referring to the 6 spatial directions sealed by permutations of YHVH, which conceal the deeper mystery of Amsh. The physical universe hides the spiritual realities behind it, and ordinary awareness remains confined by the dimensions of space and speech. The 6 rings also symbolize the 6 Sephirot corresponding to the 6 directions and the rings of the throat from which speech emerges. True understanding of Amsh therefore requires transcending ordinary physical speech and perception. Finally, the author explains that the mothers generate the elemental triad of air, water, and fire, which in turn gives rise to the fathers represented by Yud, Ha, and Vav. The mothers correspond to receptive consciousness that opens the way to Chokmah, while the fathers represent the creative stage through which ordered creation and further manifestation become possible. The author claims that by meditating first on Amsh and then on YHVH, the student retraces the process of creation itself, moving from chaos to harmony, integrating opposites, and attaining higher states of mystical consciousness. Trivia questions. 1. What central principle do the three mother letters, AMSH, represent? Answer: thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, with Aleph reconciling MEM and Shin. 2. According to the author, what is the relationship between AMSH and YHVH? Answer: AMSH belongs to Tohu, while YHVH belongs to Tikkun. 3. What characterizes the meditator's experience in the stage of Tohu? Answer: fragmented, lightning-like perceptions of disconnected Sephirot. 4. What changes when the meditator enters Tikkun? Answer: the Sephirot become connected as parts of him and form an integrated whole. 5. What does the word Emesh symbolize in this chapter? Answer: the primordial darkness and chaos before creation. 6. What do the 6 rings primarily represent? Answer: the 6 directions of space that conceal the deeper mystery of AMSH. 7. What does the author claim the student can accomplish through meditation on AMSH followed by YHVH? Answer: reproduce the stages of creation within consciousness, reconcile opposites, and attain integrated mystical perception.